Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Coming to you live from SmartCon in New York City. Joining me for this segment, we have Patrick Collins, CEO of Cyfrin. We're here to discuss my favorite subject in the Web3 space, security and developer trust. It is great to see you again. Welcome back to the show.
Great to see you as well. Great to see you as well.
What motivated you to found Cyfrin and focus specifically on smart contract security?
Yeah, great question. So about 3 years ago, I was actually working at Chainlink Labs, and the last year that I was there, I kept yelling, why do these protocols keep getting hacked? What is going on? This is so frustrating. Every time a protocol gets hacked for, $100 million, I felt like it set the industry back years. Great, we just got hacked. The industry just got hacked for $100 million. Banks now go, that industry is a clown show. I'm not interested. Traditional fintech goes, we're not putting our money in this industry where losing that money has such a high percentage chance of happening. So for me, that is the number one thing preventing this industry going mainstream. So I basically was yelling about it. And I said, no, I need to do something about it. And so we started Cyfrin, and we do traditional cybersecurity audits of smart contracts. But then additionally, the bigger side, and this is where I feel like we really stand out, not to toot my own horn a little bit, but we also do a ton of education work so that we teach all the other security researchers in the industry what are the best practices, how they can be better, and what tools can we use. And we really, really want to be the tide that raises all ships so that we can be better as an entire industry.
Teams from Chainlink,
Yes. Yep.
Aragon, Microsoft, Google, I mean,
Yep.
the top talent in the
Yes.
world, right? So why not advance
Yeah.
the ecosystem and create that resiliency on chain?
Yep.
Yeah. How are Chainlink and Cyfrin, how are you working together today
Yes.
to strengthen security?
So we do a lot with Chainlink. We love Chainlink. So we do a lot of education on Chainlink specifically to teach, both new developers and enterprise customers how they can integrate, a lot of the Chainlink products, because Chainlink makes DeFi happen, which is fantastic. We do security with Chainlink as well. We do a lot with Chainlink. Sometimes we'll jump in, we'll advise on like different ways to build protocols or whatnot. But yeah, we love Chainlink, and we love making protocols successful with Chainlink.
So let's reverse engineer this for a second here.
Sure.
What are the most common vulnerabilities?
Oh God.
Right, or what are the biggest challenges? I mean, just expected in any new space, if you will.
So two questions there. So most common vulnerabilities kind of change all the time. As of more recent, we're seeing more traditional hacks happen in the sense of like more traditional cybersecurity hacks. Like a few years ago, smart contract security was bad, and a hacker could look at a smart contract, figure out where there was a logic bug, exploit it, and then run away with the money. These days, our security has actually gotten a lot better. We still have some issues we need to figure out, but a lot of the smart contracts are safer. So hackers just go, okay, screw this. Let's just do a classic phishing link. Those work great, and then I don't need to be smart enough to figure out the logic. I just, send you a phishing link, you click it, and I own you. So that's a big challenge. So your second question was what again? Sorry.
No, this is totally off the cuff here. But,
okay, great.
What are the consistent vulnerabilities? And the other one was, are there any challenges or roadblocks or where teams don't want to have to deal with security because they're thinking about developing. Their mindset is they're engineering. They're not necessarily thinking about security. So it's almost like, and I know this sounds cliche, but it has to be a cultural approach for these projects.
Yeah, so one of our biggest pushes as a security company is it's calling Move Security Left, which is put this security initiative and responsibility on the developers developing. Now, it's kind of not in our best interest as a company to push this because it's in our best interest to be like, hey, like just outsource it all to us, just pay us more money. But I think that's net really bad for the industry. And so bringing this culture of like, in order to be a smart contract developer, you have to be tuned into security. I feel like that's kind of the narrative that we're pushing now. In order to be a good smart contract developer, you have to be good at security these days because the code base in Web3 and blockchain is actually much, much smaller than in like building websites or, in classic fintech. The code base is much smaller because the risks are so much higher. Getting something wrong in smart contract, the ramifications are way worse than like, oh, I messed up the website. You can just go to the website server, change it, and be good to go. If you mess up something in your smart contract, boom, that's $100 million out the door. So we're really, really pushing like, hey, developers, take on this security responsibility, be proactive with knowing security, bake it in from the beginning. And that's one of the big things that we're trying to push and trying
It's
to make
going to be in
happen.
demand because the bad actors are going to evolve as technology
You're right.
evolves. So it's going to be in
Yeah.
demand. So when you look ahead, how do you quantify this? What's the next major milestone of security and tooling and developer readiness? How do you know that you've achieved some of that?
So there's a couple of really niche tools that some actors in the industry are working on, which is great. But one of the biggest ones is, hey, with AI, and I feel like it's such a word vomit here, right? Everyone's talking about AI. AI really is going to help auditors and security researchers make these contracts more secure. Nobody's quite figured out what it is yet, but I'm super optimistic that we're going to have some amazing AI tools that make our smart contracts safer. I think that's going to be one of the next big unlocks to really like make things more secure. But I also think that this is kind of a side tangent for me. The wallets need to have a much clearer way of what you're signing. That was a terrible way of saying it. Right now, a lot of people, they get transactions to their wallets and they just sign it. They have no idea what the data means, what it does. They go, sure, and they click sign. And that's a big issue because we've seen a lot of classic attacks like that where a hacker takes over a website, sends data that clearly says like, oh, I'm going to steal all your money, but the person doesn't know how to read it. So they say, yep, sure, looks good. So
I mean, that argument exists in traditional finance as well.
Yep.
Nobody understands privacy policies. I mean, you actually
Yes.
social
Yep.
media private policy.
Yep.
Do you
Yep.
ever look
Yep.
at
Yep.
the whole thing? So
So
back to your point about educating the ecosystem.
yeah.
It's critical.
So exactly. So I mean, these are just two of the issues. There's a lot of issues. What's great is we are making progress in all these areas, especially with more capital flowing. More capital flowing in the industry means we have more resources to spend on educating, to spend on making people smarter. And so I'm still very optimistic. Things are getting a lot better at the same time, which is good. Yep.
Appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Absolutely.
And thanks for joining me from SmartCon. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.